Um, guys, this live, like I said, all of my lives are going to be very structured to the point, straight with the message, because people don't have time these days to sit through a lengthy live session and all that stuff. So I mean, a lot of the videos that you guys see, anyways, are on WhatsApp. So what I do is basically just analyze these videos to give a context to it, so you guys can understand exactly what's at stake. So that's what I want to talk about on this live. So I'm gonna let you guys come through. Welcome, folks. Welcome. But whilst you guys are coming through, I'm just gonna play this song here to get everybody energized again. Let no politics, no religion, no tribal conflict. You know, let's listen to this together, guys. Whilst I let you guys come in. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, guys. Welcome. Gonna let you guys come through. Okay.
Let no politics, no religion, no tribal conflict, opinions separate us. But hand in hand, we go into the booth. Democracy, the government of the people, by the people, for the people, alone now we go. And before the next sunrise, our future is already set. Let no politics, no religion, no tribal conflicts, opinions separate us. But hand in hand, we go into the booth. Democracy, the government of the people, by the people, for the people, alone now we go. And before the next sunrise, our future is already set. We've been led too far, too long, so long. Our returns.
Welcome, guys. Welcome. Welcome, Isiata Bangura. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Again, if you're on Facebook, you're watching this live, go ahead, make sure you follow me on Facebook, follow me on YouTube if you're watching this live on YouTube. If you're on Twitter, if you don't have a Twitter account, go and make sure you get a Twitter account. Guys, what I'm going to talk about today is simple, right? It's straight to the point. That is this video I want to share with you guys of former President Koroma when he recently, had this meeting that he attended. And, it is the fact that I want to share with you guys that, the 2023 elections is going to be protected. However, that is why the SLPP, in collaboration with all of these institutions that should protect the rights of citizens to register and to be able to vote, they're doing everything they could, over time to ensure that people don't vote. That is what they want to do. They want to take away, the rights, the civil liberties, and this goes to the MCC. So everybody share the live. Let me let you share, because once I get going, it's straight on. So welcome, everybody. Welcome. Like I said again, my lives are going to be straight to the point, and I just want to hit these points so folks would understand. Because President Koroma and the international community and all of West African partners, they are ready to protect the elections in 2023 on June 24th. That is not going to be a problem. The elections are going to be protected. However, that is why the parliament, civil society organizations, stakeholders in Sierra Leone have a responsibility to ensure that they protect the rights of the citizens to be registered and to be able to vote eventually. Because don't forget, over 250,000 names has been deleted from the voter register. Where are the members of parliament? Where are the leaders of the opposition? Where is Cherry Coco? Where is Kande Yumkela? Where are the people that should ensure that the people's rights to vote are protected? That is what this live is all about, guys. And that is what I want you guys to understand. So share the live, because I'm just going to take it straight to that point. Because like I said again, most of these videos you guys see online. But what I do is to create a perspective, give you guys a context, analyze the situation so you guys can see exactly where we're going, so we can protect our democracy, protect the people's rights to vote, protect the civil liberties of Sierra Leoneans. That is what I want to do. So like I said again, 2023 elections, it is going to be protected. However, the SLPP government of President Bio, in collaboration with institutions like the NEC, Mohamed Kanawe Kone, who is the NEC commissioner, everything they're doing is systematically to ensure that people don't vote. So what have they done? You saw the registration process for the very first time. We saw they had to rush on the verification process. 15 days. Why? Because the money that they were supposed to use to buy the supplies, equipment, computers, software, all of that stuff that was needed, they ate the money. $10 million. To this day, the parliament, Honorable Cheno Majuba of APC, the leaders of the opposition, Kande Yumkela, the Masinlaminas of Sifosi. Because the SLPP, of course, these members of parliament are there. Their allegiance is to their political party. Their allegiance is not to the constitution. And Section 13B tells us that every citizen should cultivate a sense of nationalism and patriotism, so that loyalty should lie to the state, not to their political parties, not to their regions, not to their sections, not to their tribes, not to any other loyalties. But these guys are in parliament. All they do is promoting everything that their political party wants. This is a violation of the constitution itself when people are working contrary to what the constitution says. And that is why I want to share this video of President Koroma. And again, because I want you guys to see where I'm coming from, where we are coming from when we talk about the rights of citizens to be able to register and for them to be voted, for them to vote in elections. 2023 elections week is going to be protected. There's going to be thousands of observers across the world to come and see. And that is why I want to share this with you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys this video of former President Koroma recently when he attended this meeting, so you guys can understand exactly where we're going with this. I want you guys to see this for yourselves, okay?
The general causes of the reverse.
I want everybody to listen attentively. This was recently, about a week ago, when President Koroma, gave this talk. Of course, that's good luck, Jonathan, and the other gentleman there. But, I want you guys to listen attentively because I want you all to know the elections in 2023, June 24th, it is going to be protected. However, that is why the SLPP don't want the people to register. That is why they did everything they did to suppress voter registration. And you saw what happened again with the verification process. You saw the amount of names that are missing because, again, you can do everything to protect the elections on the day of the election. But if you don't work towards the election itself with everything that the SLPP has been doing for 4 years, suppressing voters, using NIN and NACRA, all of these things we said they wanted to do, they used all of this stuff to suppress the registration process. If we cannot protect our elections, if we cannot protect those processes that would eventually, affect the outcome that actually has everything to do with the outcome of the elections itself. If people cannot go actually and vote on that day of voting, how can you count those votes? And that is what they're doing to suppress the turnout so that people will not be able to vote. So that is why Parliament should fight now to help people like President Koroma and other leaders across the world. But listen to this. Listen to this, guys. Listen to this.
We have to examine the general causes of the reversals, and we also have to look at the specifics in the country because the issues vary from country to country. And for this meeting particularly, we will be looking at the elections in Africa, in the West African countries for next year. Next year we'll be having presidential and parliamentary elections in 3 countries: Nigeria, Sierra Leone, and Liberia. And also we'll be having legislative elections in Benin early next year. What is happening, what is the build-up to the elections? We know that our people still want elections to continue, but it is the integrity of the process that we have to support to ensure that whatever is the outcome becomes a true reflection of the will of the people.
Guys, that is solemn right there. And that is what I want to share with you guys. I want you guys to see that. I want you guys to see that. And that is why all of us have a responsibility. By the way, go ahead and share the live, right? We all have a responsibility to ensure that the election, the outcomes of the elections, that everybody that should be able to register, that is of age 18, that should be able to register and vote, should vote in the 2023 elections. Because President Koroma and others are ready to ensure that the elections, the outcomes of the elections are safeguarded. So people like myself, we don't have a problem with the elections in 2023 because we know that the whole world is going to be watching. However, what we should do is to protect people, the citizens right now that has been disenfranchised across the country. We saw the registration process. We saw what happened. And guys, by the way, whilst we're still on President Koroma, I want you guys to understand this. I want you guys to see this. I want you guys to know that former President Koroma is working overtime. This is one of, when you look at people like, not only President Koroma, but most of the presidents now these days, they hold social media in very high esteem. President Koroma, this is his Facebook page. I want to share this with you. By the way, if you're not following him, I want you guys to go follow him. All right? This is on Facebook. This is his page, Office of Ernest by Koroma. Just type at EBK Legacy. You'll see it there. Let me also share with you his Twitter account. Let me share that with you as well. I want you guys to see it in real time. I want you guys to go follow him on Twitter. This is his Twitter account right here. Let me put it on a bigger screen for you guys so you guys can see what I'm talking about. But this is former President Koroma's Twitter account. What you're looking for is EBK Legacy. So if you don't have a Twitter account, you better have a Twitter account, guys. If you're one of my Facebook followers, you're watching this live, you don't have a Facebook account, try to have a Facebook account. Set it up today after we're done with this live. Don't forget, make it a point of duty. Set it up and go and follow President Koroma, and also ensure you follow my page. But I want to share this with you because I want you guys to know how serious social media is in Sierra Leone. So for everyone that wants to contest for positions in that country, and you tell us you don't have a social media account, you're not serious. Because guys, that is the archive. This shows everything. Former President Koroma's Twitter page, you go to his Facebook page, all of these shows his archive. Everything you want to know about former President Koroma, you can find them in his Facebook page. All of this video that I'm sharing with you is in his Facebook page. All of the stuff is in his, everything he does is in his Facebook page. So he does not even have to come out here and talk to you. Now, you go to his Twitter account, it is there. You go to his Instagram. Yes, President Koroma has an Instagram account. For you young people that you think, oh, well, you don't have time for Facebook. You don't have time for Twitter. Matter of fact, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, you cannot go without those 3 accounts. You don't have to be there all the time, but at least have those accounts. Because for members of parliament, it's going to get to a time when we would ask you as a member of parliament, what have you done? And you don't have to explain. If you start explaining too much, it means you've not done anything. I should be able to say, okay, let me look up this member of parliament. Where is his Twitter account? Where is his Instagram account? Where is his Facebook account? Because I want to see what you do. So Instagram is like the fun place, right? You can put maybe your sporting activities, whatever it is. Twitter, Facebook, you can show your projects that you're backed on. Or because members of parliament don't have a responsibility to do anything for their people when it comes to really, building schools, building hospitals, or this and that. It is not their responsibility. They are supposed, the responsibility of parliament is to ensure that they hold the government accountable to take the resources of the people to the people. So for example, every community should have a hospital, should have a school, should have good roads. Members of parliament have a responsibility to ensure that those needs of the people, the social amenities, social responsibility of the government is met. President Koroma has an Instagram account. He has a Twitter. I'm showing you all of these things, guys, because I want you guys to see this stuff. Before I even start to analyze the video that I'm doing, I want you to see this. It has a Facebook. So what is your excuse? No member of parliament can make an excuse on this. Yes. He has this. You look at President Joe Biden. Most of the press, if you're serious, this is how you relate to your people. So all of you guys should go and ensure that you follow former President Koroma on Facebook, on Twitter, and on Instagram. I want you guys to see it. All you look for is at EBK Legacy. It's right here, guys. On Instagram, this is his page. Go follow him on Instagram if you haven't done so. Guys, social media, you have to just plan yourself properly. Don't get consumed so much where every garbage that comes your way, you want to take it. No, program yourself. Okay, say, I want to listen to Ibrahim. That's why I'm having Facebook. Or I want to see what Ibrahim is doing on Twitter. That's why I have a Twitter account, to bring the education, civic education to you guys. That's what I want to share with you, right? So don't forget to do that. Don't forget to follow former President Koroma. Again, on Twitter. This is his Twitter account. This is what you're looking for right here. At EBK Legacy. That is the point, right? But now, let me also show you guys my own Twitter page. So you can go and follow me, because you're missing out if you're not following me on Twitter. In real time, I want you guys to see this stuff. This is my Twitter account right here. I want you guys to see it. This is what you're looking for. Fauna IB. Follow me on Twitter. But let me get to the video now. Let me get to analyze this video properly. If you're just joining me, matter of fact, this is the video, from, you'll go back later on after the live ends, just watch and you'll catch up. But former President Koroma, they are going to do everything they could to protect the rights of the citizens to vote next year. He has already said that. That is sacrosanctly clear. We know that. So the work that we have to do now, Salon people, and the work we for do now for protect we vote. Former President Koroma make them very clear. Very clear. What thing they get for do for plan for make sure say them protect we rights and we vote them. They're not ready for protector. Let me play the video again one more time so you guys can see what I'm talking about. I want you guys to see this with me. Let's watch it together.
Examine the general causes of the reversals, and we also have to look at the specifics in the country, because the issues vary from country to country. And for this meeting particularly, we will be looking at the elections in Africa, in the West African countries for next year. Next year we'll be having presidential and parliamentary elections in 3 countries: Nigeria, Sierra Leone, and Liberia. And also we'll be having legislative elections in Benin early next year. I mean, what is happening, what is the build-up to the elections? We know that our people still want elections to continue, but it is the integrity of the process that we have to support to ensure that whatever is the outcome becomes a true reflection of the will of the people.
Thank you, guys. So that's very clear. That's straight to the point. So we responsibility as Sierra Leoneans now, President Koroma already, and the international community in the West African region and all of Africa, all the world, they have to pay attention. They know that there are 3 elections next year: Sierra Leone, Liberia, and with the other countries. We forget the elections. 3 of these countries, Sierra Leone, Liberia, and Nigeria, are going to have elections next year. So the whole world is going to pay attention. And that is why it's important for us we protect, we vote them. How we get for Duam? We get for whole members of parliament accountable now. We get for whole civil society accountable. We get for whole the woman and self. We get a woman organization where they say 30%. In parliament, we want to be represent. We have to have representation. These women are not protecting a democracy. A whole silent. Most of these women that are pushing for this 30%, they are silent. They see what's in the go on in the country. We're wrong. They're silent about it. So we have a responsibility, every one of us, to protect the rights of citizens. On a city registration process, it was a mess. On a Siam. And that is why we get a responsibility to ensure that we protect the citizens, their rights. For make sure, say, when you look at these JFK, these guys, they actually recently, are going to challenge President Bio's decision to use the PR system. All well and good. The PR system is just a vehicle to the elections. However, the fundamental issues, the fundamental criteria, the issues that are actually going to lead to the outcome of the elections are the things that they need to challenge. When you talk about the registration process, they need to challenge that at the Supreme Court level. There are thousands of citizens that did not register. Thousands of Sierra Leoneans are not able to register. Then the one they separately register on a city verification process. Now you listen to the neck somebody in a radio this yesterday or so this morning. They talk nonsense about the fact that the reason why some of their names then they show now because they used 2 systems of registration, the NACRA and that of the neck registration process as well. So guys, you cannot conflate the two, the voter register and the civil You cannot mix the two, the voter register and the civil register. You cannot mix the voter register is the voter register. That is NEC responsibility. The civil register, which is the NACRA, you cannot mix the two. These are 2 different registers. So what's caused the confusion now? They use the civil register and the NAC and the voter register. When a NEC is in charge of the voter register, we will not forget again, we have different types of registers. Where we brother of the African Express, we break down for we. You get the civil register, whether the NACRA register, where they take note of, every citizen, the day where you born, to the day where you die, the NEC register, now every citizen that is eligible to vote, whether on turn 18 or we go turn 18 by the date of election, that should vote. That is the voter register. That's totally different. An understanding difference there. You get a professional register, who say you talk about like the amount of doctors they already at the country, the amount of, lawyers they already at the country, the amount of electricians. If you want to go down to that level, we have all of these different registers, right? So what's important, and then we get the housing and population register as well. for take a proper account of the housing that the country and all of that stuff they need, how to allocate funds, to various communities and all of that. Those are the 4 different types of registers. I hope you guys understand that. But what NEC did, they mixed the registers. You cannot mix the voter register with the civil register, which is NACRA. And that was what they did in the registration process. All of this is done to destroy the possibilities of our citizens to be able to vote. And when I see them across the country, when people, they go register, they're not able to register. We saw it across Sierra Leone. People's rights to register were stolen away from them across the country. And this is the things where we have to stand up. Members of parliament, especially the leaders of the opposition, then get a responsibility now for stand up and defend the rights of the people. But why the members of parliament silent? Why the leaders silent? The PR system for good challenger at the Supreme Court is one. But at the same time, why is it that they're not challenging the fact that the registration process be flawed? How you go give people 15 days for register? For the very first time in the history of our country, people were giving, a couple of days to register. And even now, we see across the country, a lot of the people are unable for register. I'm breaking these things down for you guys so you would understand that even though President Koroma and all these other leaders across the world, the European Union, the American Embassy, they're all going to be there in the elections to protect the elections. However, if they disqualify our people now not to even vote at the time, then how are we going to win this election? And we know say these guys, they've protected the Southeast. They might even have overvoting over there. But in the northern and northwestern part of the country, they are disenfranchising people. They are suppressing the voices of the people. We saw it in the registration process and in the verification process. They only gave the people 4 days to verify their registration. But even in the registration, we saw the sufferings and the pain of the people. Look at these young people. I always like to play this video. I want to see this video of young people suffering for them to go register. And these are the things we're talking about. So again, we cannot mix it. But listen to this.
Watch out. They don't allow you from register. Okay, no problem. Yeah. Yes, sir. You said now the same issue, eh? Yeah. You said now was that today.
Once I go back, inside and say, like engineer, I reach there, you face no even show back. So many no happen. So I go back. Like engineer and we face no stress and the whole day. The register now go back with face no stress, we face no car. The way we should go 2017 at the register.
So this man himself getting your own testimony. Yeah? What are you age? 18 years. You will go to school? So you yourself what will be happening? You register at school? Yeah. Yeah. So the system not show.
Yes.
That you not show up na the system. Yeah.
Now go mount to place back na the same. I can't do it na the same. Now go so you pack back na the same. The patients are na the same. And get so same na NCR ya go.
Can you imagine? Guys, can you imagine stuff like this? Can you imagine this? More than 5 centers. This young lady had to go more than 5 centers just to register. So in as much as President Koroma, they're going to protect the votes of the citizens on the 24th of June 2023 next year, which is less than 6 months, less than about 208 or 9 days left to the elections. We have to do something now. Members of parliament, every citizen across Sierra Leone, where is Kanda Yumkela? Where is Cherry Coco? Where are they when the people's rights to register are being disenfranchised? They're taking advantage of the people. Where is MCC? Talking about civil liberties. Talking about political rights. These are the things I want to discuss with you guys. I want everybody to open up their eyes. 2020, we're not worried about 2023. I want to make it clear again. June 24, we're not worried about that day. The elections, the outcomes, the results, because it's going to be monitored. It's going to be monitored. But if we cannot have our people now to be registered properly, to secure their ID cards, for them to go and vote, how we go get the results what they look for? And that is where the suppression takes place. And that is why we're calling on members of parliament. Cherry Coco, for God's sake, APC is in opposition. My friend, what are you doing? This man was in the parliament for 15 years. This is what happens when you keep people in this position for so long. They take the people for granted. Cherikoko should summon, using Section 86(2) of the 1991 Constitution, to summon the NEC Commissioner to Parliament. Abbas Bundu shall, if Cherikoko use Section 86(2) to summon the NEC Commissioner. From what they tell this man, say, summon this man. 15 days for register. What do we see? Cherikoko they go dance with the NEC people, the NEC when they launched the registration process. It was there dancing with the registration NEC folks at the registration launching. Cherikoko was there, the leader of the opposition, Cherno Majuba. President Koroma has made it clear, Sierra Leoneans, we have no worries about the elections. We have no worries about the elections in June 24, 2023. The problem what we get, it's about getting people to be able to vote. That is the problem. Listen to this.
And we have to examine the general causes of the reversals, and we also have to look at the specifics in the country, because the issues vary from country to country. And for this meeting particularly, we will be looking at the elections in Africa, in the West African countries for next year. Next year we'll be having presidential and parliamentary elections in 3 countries: Nigeria, Sierra Leone, and Liberia. And also we'll be having legislative elections in Benin early next year. I mean, what is happening, what is the build-up to the elections? We know that our people still want elections to continue, but it is the integrity of the process that we have to support to ensure that whatever is the outcome becomes a true reflection of the will of the people.
Thank you. Guys, I cannot say enough about this. This is sacrosanctly clear. The message is very, very clear, like my brother said here, right? The message very, very clear. So now, I saw those guys, of course, again, going to the Supreme Court to challenge the PR system. Yes, we said no to the PR system. However, what about the fact that these guys are not taking to court the NEC commissioner to ensure that they extend the registration process? Because now, imagine, you go to certain registration centers, the people's names are not showing up. Where they registered 1,000 people, only 300 names are showing up. So why is it that these lawyers, JFK and others, if they are really serious, members of parliament, Honorable Chainoba, Kande Yumkela of the NGC, this is the man that I fought for. I even went against the party of my birth, the APC. For Kande Yumkela, I say Kande Yumkela for be president of Sierra Leone. This guy has failed us woefully. Where is this man? He says now, don't take my hand, pull Bangana fire. No use my hand for pull Bangana fire. This man over there, Allah say, hey, if you touch you, they go let complain. Now the man this way went after the APC government of former President Koroma. Now this man is silent amidst when people's democratic right, their civil liberties, their political rights have been trampled upon. NEC gave us 15 days to register for the first time in the history of our country. Even when we had the rebel war in 96, we had full 36 plus days to register simultaneously across the country. But for the very first time in 2022, our people registered in phases. Is that not a problem that should concern all of us? That is why we continue to say the APC, especially APC, the chain of Majuba, the leader of the opposition in the APC party, has sold for a second time to the SLPP government. Our brother African Express has pulled all kinds of publications, theft after the other, all kinds of thief after thief, corruption upon corruption. This man has never summoned the courage to use Section 86(2) in the well of Parliament and also Standing Order 23. SO 23 in Parliament, I stand and rise to speak about the corruption of the president. This is the same country that we see the president spending $2 million in 1 month. Recently, between October and November, our brother, the African Express, published that thing. $2 million for travel locally within Sierra Leone. $2 million. But I'm going to get there. But I just want to let you guys know, open up your eyes, guys. The game is right now. What we do now to protect the votes and rights of the people to vote is what's going to matter. 300,000 names have been deleted from the voter register. Honorable Cherikoko still called for, say, he wants an inquiry. He wants an audit. Instead of him performing his parliamentary duty to actually summon the NEC commissioner in a public hearing, publicized over TV and radio, as the leader of the opposition, he get the power through Section 86(2) of the Constitution to summon the Speaker of Parliament. And the Speaker shall, within 14 days, if 20% of members of Parliament call for an emergency meeting, Cherry Coco should be able to use that section of the Constitution. Kennedy Yunkara should be able to use that section of the Constitution to summon this man, the next commissioner, Mohamed Kanawe Kone, to Parliament to testify in front of Salon people. Let him explain to we why people had to be running up and down, going to 5 different places to register. These kids are of age. Some of these kids are going to be 18 before June 24, 2023. Why could they not be able to register? Why would they not be able to register? Why over 250,000, 250,000 people's names were deleted from the voter register? Why? Mohamed Kanawe Kona should explain that to the people of Sierra Leone. The people of Sierra Leone deserve to know that kind of stuff. The Constitution makes it very clear. Matter of fact, what is democracy? Democracy is the power of the people, for the people and by the people. That is democracy. The people have the people own democracy. And why? Because sovereignty belongs to the people. We can go to Section 5 of the Constitution, the very first chapter of the Constitution. I can show you guys that, Andy. Sovereignty belongs to the people. The government derives its legitimacy, its authority, and its power from the people. What is so hard about that? So everything these guys are doing should be working for the people. But you see, in a nation where you have tribalism, don't supersede with loyalty to the state. That is what we have. People like Mohamed Kanawe Kone, they are working for their political party. They're not working for the people. And that is why Honorable Chino Majuba of the APC owes us, the people of Sierra Leone, the responsibility of bringing Mohamed Kanawe Kone front and center to tell us, the people, why we people, and when we reach them for letting register and they suffer for register, why they allow for let them use the NIN as a mandatory stipulation to be able to register. Now it has created confusion, where the reason why they're giving, the reason why some of these names don't appear. I have the audio here. I have the audio here, right here. Channel actually share that audio with me, and it's on AYV, but I'll try to get the video itself. But let me pull up that audio and play for you guys so you would listen to the excuse that the neck guy is giving as to why people's name that were actually registered did not show up at the verification process. We're talking about thousands, if not millions of names. Millions of Sierra Leoneans, their names did not show up, especially from the northwest part of the country. Hundreds of thousands of names not showing up. Why? Because they used 2 systems. They mixed up the registers. You cannot mix the voter register and the civil register. No. They mixed it up. So now it created this confusion. People's names are absent from the verification process because they corrupted the system. And so President Koroma and others are ready to protect our votes. But if we cannot even have the people to go and vote, then how are we going to have the results that we're looking for? That is where Chino Majuba of the APC comes in. That is where the leaders of the opposition in parliament comes in. That is where civil society organizations comes in. That is where, the paramount chiefs in parliament comes in. Because all of these people are just recklessly sitting in parliament supporting the government of the day. Then paramount chief that they talk to una they sit down, una they support the government of the day. Una don't go away from the people, their right. And una they did for represent the people. But you're not representing the people. That is what you guys are doing. And let me read this section of the Constitution again, like I was saying. I want to show you guys this. I want you guys to see this. This is the Constitution here. I want you guys to see this. Section 5. I love this part of the Constitution, right? Let me show you guys this. I want you guys to see this. The Republic of Sierra Leone shall be a state based on the principles of freedom, democracy, and justice. Subsection 2. It is accordingly declared that sovereignty belongs to the people of Sierra Leone, from whom government, through this Constitution, derives all its powers, authority, and legitimacy. The security, the peace, and welfare of the people of Sierra Leone shall be the primary purpose and responsibility of government. And to this end, it shall be the duty of the armed forces, the police, public officers, and all security agents to protect and safeguard the people of Sierra Leone. And the participation of the people in the governance of the state shall be ensured in accordance with the provisions of this Constitution. So I'm talking to every member of Paramount Chief. I'm talking to all the women that they allow for 30%. You guys are all now working with the government. Anything the government wants, you guys are behind the government. Anything the government wants, una dey behind them. That is what we want to talk about until every Sierra Leonean inculcate the Section 13B of the Constitution, guys. I want to share this with you. Section 13B that talks about the duties of a citizen. It is right here, guys. Duties of a citizen. And I like B. B is my favorite of all. There is a lot of them, and they are all just as beautiful. Responsibilities of a citizen. But I want you today, the challenge I want to give you is look at this Constitution, Section 13B. Pick one of them, these subsections within them. Pick one that you love and stay with that one and hold that one and memorize that one. That is the challenge I want to give you guys. Share this live, everybody. Section 13B says what? Let us read it together. Section 13B says, every citizen shall cultivate a sense of nationalism and patriotism so that loyalty to the state shall override sectional, ethnic, tribal, or other loyalties. That is my favorite. So I want you as a Sierra Leonean, pick one of these sections under Section 13 that you love, that you hold, memorize. If they wake you up asleep, you can grab and read them. I want you to take that challenge upon yourself. You're watching this live. You're seeing this video anywhere, anytime, any day after today. You're seeing this. Challenge yourself. Say Section 13 of the Constitution. I'm going to pick one. Either A, B, C, D. Because it's a lot of them, right? All the way to J. Pick one and abide with it. That is what we have to imbibe. So people like Mame Kanawe Kone, they have to understand that when that time comes, the public tribunal that we're going to hold these people accountable. Tell us how you obeyed the Constitution. When people cannot even register peacefully, when you are using laws, the members of parliament then pass the Political Party Act. Now the same one they will pass the NIN because then come up behind we. After they organize the August 10 protest, then come up behind we, then go pass these bills in the parliament for include an NIN number as a mandatory requirement. Even when they lie to us, when the African Express come join we, it tell we say, hey, Salon people, una go watch una members of parliament. Una all member that day in June for almost a month, over a month. That's when they come back and tell we say, well, they don't discontinue the process. They go for use the NIN, they go for use NACRA, none of that stuff. But now they can't tell we say they actually, because the reason why the people's names are not showing up is because some of them, when they registered with NACRA, it did not show up with the actual registration process. So let me play this audio. I want you guys to listen to this audio. Listen to this audio.
The Commission very much aware of the cases there. These are the reasons why we exhibit register. After registration, the law requires that we exhibit the provision of register for before identify then cases there and resolve them. It's not new in the electoral process. For law, you get institution register and then you do registration. During exhibition, some names don't come out or some people that come out, names come out. Picture. So now,
guys, we're talking about hundreds of thousands of names. We don't talk about maybe in a one center, Usai say 1,000 people register, maybe 2 person then picture not show or 2 person not appear. That is not what we're talking about. We're talking about areas where 1,000 people registered, only 200 or 300 names showed up. That is not normal. That is absolutely uncalled for. That is a jail sentence, Andy. In a country where you have serious opposition, these guys should be in jail right now. Mame Kanawe Kone should be in jail right now in a serious country. But we don't have a proper democracy. That is why this is happening. Listen to this.
A normal thing, the Commission aware, make I just touch on the 2 issues we make reference to and waiting at the reasons so that the public will understand. Now, we get 2 issues will really come out, like you say. One, the one that we names not come out at all. Now, what we find out basically is that during the extraction of data from the VDK kits, not all of the data they be able to extract. So we realize that one when we go back, take some districts and go over all the VDK machine there and do a fresh extraction of data, realize say the data we don't extract, it be virtually incomplete. So the Commission now don't take up the onus for go over the extraction of all data again from the VVKs, and we're very much comfortable and convinced that once we don't conclude that, the issue of somebody in name, not the ego, be resolved. This one,
guys, what's important now? When I listen to this guy, these guys they took over a month for the very first time. They took over a month to actually even come out and put out these names of voter registration to get people to go and verify their registration, right? It took a month. It took a month. During former President Koroma's time, it only took about two weeks or so. The names, names came out. Maybe few here and there had some issues. That was fixed. There was transparency, openness, and everything. Listen to these idiots now. It took a month, and after a month, they still tell we say enough for extract all the data. Why? Because they mixed the two registers. Them. That was what we were fighting against. That was what we tell them guy. They say members of parliament, usa una day. Then they torment with people. Now that's the members of parliament they go on recess. Chernobyl Juba was nowhere to be seen. He has never made a statement until one time because I pull on press release, but nonsense. Remember, people in the run up and down, elter skelter, go for going to bat and that, for going to bat certificate, and this and that, and all that nonsense. We saw it in Sierra Leone, guys. These guys, they can't tell me now, say, after a month of not talking to the people, they're not even for extract all the data. When they see the level of corruption, and that is why they tell when I say, President Koroma is ready. They are going to protect our votes on June 24. But if we cannot have our people to be properly registered, if members of parliament cannot stand up now, civil society organization cannot stand up now, they want 30% of parliament. If they talk, then paramount chief, they inside that parliament, if they're not standing up against these illegalities, then how will people go vote that day for get rid of Marabio? Marabio is going to go. But not so magic he can for go with. Now, for ensure say the people are registered and citizens are able to cast their votes that day. But they're doing everything right now to destroy that. When I listen to this, let's listen to this together.
One, you don't talk about it, but you don't feel say that they largely to the people who their names and the people we been say them pull from the voter register because they do multiple registration.
Thanks for that. You see, misunderstanding this somehow. When we talk about duplicate registration, what basically we mean is that there are people doing the update of the voter register. When they go at the center, they check into the VVK, they don't see the details. And because of that, then they ask them to go register afresh. When in actual fact, the details been there in the kit, or you don't register with CRA before. So after the registration, when we go back in the data center, match waiting we get with waiting NCRA get. We find out say then same people there.
You see the problem, guys? You see who side the problem come out? Because these guys mix the registers. You know they mix the register. That is a flagrant violation, first of all, of the Constitution itself. You cannot mix the two different registers them. They mix the register there. They mix the civil register and the voter register. The voter register should have nothing to do with the civil register. This is where the problem lies. And this is why we say, again, you as a patriotic Sierra Leonean, regardless of your political party, call you member of parliament. APC, especially Chino Majuba of the APC. And APC has 58 members of parliament. Almost of Wisabi. How many members of parliament do we know for the APC? I can only call maybe 4 or 5 names. I know Cherry Kuko. I know Honorable Abdul Kagbo, Honorable AKK, Honorable Lahai, because of course he was the one who said the Africanist press, publications are not factual. It took down the stuff later on from his Facebook page. I think pretty much that's all I know. Where are all these other members of parliament, right? But you see, they mixed up the register, and because they mixed the register, now it don't cause this conflation. Now it cause this confusion. You cannot mix the two registers. The voter register is totally different from the NACRA, which is the civil register in the country. The civil register takes care of births and deaths and this and that, foreigners, all that stuff. But the voter register is only people. Again, Section 31 of the Constitution makes it very clear. But let's play this audio and listen to these guys. And listen to this. Members of parliament get a responsibility. This guy, they for call and now for go answer. Yes, along with democracy. Hey, we're not ready for go before yet until we have the right people in the right places. Now listen to this.
Register with NCRA sometime before, and they will indicate, but for one reason or the other, they're going to see their names as at that time. So they register again. So those ones, not to any fraudulent attempts, not to any criminal intent, then register to we, and the details been there in the NCRA database. And because we now forget 2 separate data for one person in the voter register as well as in the NCRA data, we synchronize them and try for take one.
Una give around 5 days for the exhibition. With all the things that will happen, una get any intention for extend the date?
We not see reason why for extend because
Guys, when it comes to this extension, but I want you guys to pay attention very clearly. We're coming to the extension. As far as extending the date for, you can't read nonsense with this guy talk. But guys, you cannot mix these registers. So what has happened is the people that did not have an NIN number, these are the people whose names did not show up at the verification in these various wards and areas where people should go and verify their names. So all the people that want to get NIN number, because again, they can't use NIN, and NIN is only an option. They know if you allow what chief them, what they do? When they chief them at the community, they go say, "But as I be them picking, and I didn't pick around the Amosi and they don't go school, they don't know sit back, was scared, all that stuff. They need for verify them. They don't allow them chief. They say the chief them for only verify one person per day. Can you imagine these things happening in Sierra Leone? Where are the members of parliament? What is Honorable Cherikoko? This man is getting paid by taxpayers' money. APC people, Salon people, unala we left. These days we try to be very patient. Myself, when I talk, Cashbox, communicate to people's power, right? We try to be patient with Sierra Leoneans, but Sierra Leoneans need to wake up. You see, because these things that we're spending time on, then Tia would come, we talk, and also all man get Facebook. That is why we do WhatsApp as well. And sometimes even these audios, I put them in WhatsApp format so we can share out to people. But at the end of the day, Sierra Leoneans, wake up. Hold your leaders accountable. Hold your members of parliament accountable. They have a responsibility to protect our country. You have a responsibility, but you, the people, you are the problem as well. And what you do, lost largely because civic education. People are not exposed. Sierra Leoneans are not exposed as much. What they know is what they know, and that is why we're trying to bridge that gap. That is why I spend my time when we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on WhatsApp, we're on Twitter, because we have to open up the minds of Sierra Leoneans, not only back home in Sierra Leone, even some of our brothers and sisters in the diaspora. They're just as sick as our folks back home. Because a lot of them, when they don't kind of have the struggles that they make, people don't read, people don't forget, people don't read. Some are not even just care, So we're doing this, and that is why I appreciate you guys joining me here. You see how much people they live will join me live? But if not some kalo nonsense, you'll see 100, 200, 300 people coming. But when you're coming here to talk these things that we can for change with country, for make them a better country, you go see people, they come for listen. No, they don't want London TND. So I'm very grateful for a lot of you guys that are taking the time to listen, to learn, to share these information out there. So we'll get a better society and improve and stop for complaining about, the country, no, so it be, no more. But listen to this, guys. They can't talk about the fact that they don't even allow people for get extension with the verification process. That is why I say again, why are JFK and all these other lawyers challenging the PR system in the Supreme Court, but cannot sue on behalf of the people of Sierra Leone? The registration process was fraught. The verification process is nonsense and garbage and trash. They cannot sue to challenge NEC to ensure that they extend the registration process one more time in the verification process. But let's listen to this, guys. Listen to this. Listen to this guy where he can talk in nonsense.
The 5 days done in the first place give you a clear
listen to this.
information.
Push this more.
As to waiting challenge. Because we don't want to forget 2 separate data for one person in the voter register as well as in the NCRA data. We synchronize them and try for take one.
Una give around 5 days for the exhibition. With all the things that will happen, una get any intention for extend the date?
We not see reason why for extend because the 5 days done in the first place give we a clear information as to waiting and challenge them who get. We now the focus on resolving these challenges. The exhibition, like I say, the purpose now for me you go there and go check if you know the day. We expect that. Now that's make we say go check if you know the day, so that if you know the day, we go find a way for include that.
So how do people go know say then don't include them the back own and the exhibits again?
Very good question. The commission intend for introduce a mobile app. Once we don't consolidate the data, the final data, we get mobile app system. We are in wherever you do, you never require internet. You can just enter your voter ID number or your confirmation number. You just enter them and information they come. So by so doing, you self will be convinced now that you did in the register.
Some of the people not educated. They don't get that kind of idea. They're not technologically inclined. So how you feel say that it's possible for them?
Let us not talk about technology as if na space day. We people them into all mango school, but even in Granina village, they get beginning where they go school. The phone they use, or they talk, it never require internet. We not even say for me you buy data first, may you do. But even with people them who in a village, you must get somebody around them we go able for check for her. So na simple thing for do we make am complex. Just like how you dey check for Becker results or you check for what result of those things. Now that kind of method would intend for you so that it will be so easy that anybody will able for access.
The dates don't close, and you get some centers in over 3,000 people. Then on the names already 600, 500, as the case may be. Which assurance on I will give to them people and they say the names and
we assure the public that we very much aware of the problem and we don't understand the cause of the problem. Once you don't understand the cause, then it's easy for me to get a solution. Also, don't find solution. So we assure the public that when we finalize the voters register, all the one that we be registered, the name will definitely, except the one that we be registered as underage, we in actual fact they not qualify. If they register with
before we reach to the underage, before we even get to the underage part that he's going to talk about, because if you have a biometric system, first of all, we should not be talking about people voting, registering underage. We should not be talking about that. So that is the garbage and nonsense that he's talking about. But you see, these guys are not even going to allow people again to re-verify that their names are in the voter register. I'm telling Sierra Leoneans, go call your members of parliament. Tell these lawyers, the JFK and others, to challenge these guys now to the Supreme Court as well, to say that the people of Sierra Leone should be given an opportunity again to re-verify their names before the day for elections. Again, how can former President Koroma protect us if we cannot get the people to be even registered properly? How President Koroma go protect we vote them? How the leaders in West Africa, how European Union, American Embassy, all the international partners, how would they protect our votes if we cannot secure the registration process to ensure that our people are fully registered? So waiting, people don't get for no again. They say they're going to install they're going to deploy an app, an application. You talk to them, Mami BM footer. They said the Mami get phone. If the Mami not sabi safe, the Mami get one gram pick you go in here, go show waiting for Sierra Leoneans. Are we living in a la land? But every one of us, we have a responsibility to call these members of parliament, the leader of the opposition, especially Cheno Majuba of the APC, Kande Yumkela. They have a responsibility to protect the civil rights of our citizens. This is their civil right. To vote is their civil right. It comes on the democratic right. It is their political right, their civil rights, their civil liberties. Everything around the Constitution itself, it is the rights of the people to register. Look at what the Constitution says right here. Section 31. This is what Section 31 says. The representation of the people. What does it say? It says, every citizen of Sierra Leone being 18 years of age and above and of sound mind still shall have the right to vote and accordingly be entitled to be registered as a voter for the purposes of public elections and referenda. Referenda meaning referendum. Also, you need the voice of the people. So like when you have entrenched clauses, like the death penalty, before we can take away the death penalty, we need a referendum. So every member of parliament that actually voted for or said they approved the doing away with the death penalty in Sierra Leone, yes, you will be prosecuted. It's treasonous. Section 108 of the Constitution makes it very clear that any alteration of this Constitution, because when it comes to the entrenched clauses, let me not even go there. When it comes to entrenched clauses, we're talking about the fact that you need a referendum. A referendum. The people should vote. Their voices should be in there. Which happened recently in America. In a state of Kentucky, as an example, or instead of Kansas, right? The people, with the government, the states want to ban abortion. What did they do? The states wanted to ban the abortion. The people said no. They put it for votes. The people voted because Kansas is a Republican state. They thought it was going to pass. Oh, we want to ban abortion, this and that, everything, incest, rape. It doesn't matter what it is. Even if you are raped by somebody, you would not be able to commit abortion, abort the baby and all that stuff. The people of Kansas voted against it. That is a referendum because why? It is an entrenched clause within the Constitution. You cannot just change it without the voice of the people. Sierra Leoneans, we have a responsibility. We don't listen to this guy. Now close this guy in audio and then we end this live. Listen to this guy talking about this nonsense.
NCRA before with a different age and where it can't.
It's talking about people that vote that double registered. How can people double register if you have a biometric system? Biometric system, you thumbprint, when you put it on the machine, it will pull up your information. How can anybody double register? I can't tell you the strategy behind this, but when I listen to this.
we be registered. The name go differently, except the one that we be registered as underage. We, in actual fact, they're not qualified. If they register with NCRA before with a different age, and when it comes to registration, they can register with a different age simply because they want for beat the system. Those ones we go for identify the names, them, list them, and get a name related to the police for investigation. But I want to assure the public that all the one day we register, names go appear during the final register, and that's red ID card.
Thank you, guys. So what they plan to do here is to arrest citizens. They're just going to make up some data, then go across the north and northwest, arrest these people, lock them up in jail so that they will not be able to vote. Because that's the other strategy too. They're going to be arresting a lot of people, the APC folks. They know in the areas of the opposition where the APC is the strongest. Arrest these people, lock them up. Members of parliament are sitting by. We have overcrowded prison systems. That is what these guys want to do. Because in a biometric system of voter registration, nobody can register twice. It is not possible. Because once you put your thumbprint on that machine pulls up your data. No matter where you've registered, it is synchronized. That is what the technology is all about. That is what they're trying to prevent in the first place, double register. So it is a lie. They double register the people in the Southeast without using the machine. They don't have to use the machine to do that. But as far as we know, nobody double registered in the north and northwestern part of Sierra Leone. This is all a game to make sure that they punish our people, take away their rights to vote. The prisons are filled with APC sympathizers, people that would likely vote against President Bio. They are in prison, Pademba Road, along the police stations across the country. So if you really want to help members of parliament, you citizens that are free, that are out there, go ask your members of parliament to go visit these police stations. Look at people like Mohamed Kamarimba, the LAJs, they're all in jail. Well, tell me, if those people that have names, they can lock them up like that. Tell me about the innocent citizens that have nothing. They don't even know a lawyer. What they've done to them. They lock them up. They're torturing them. They're beating them up. They're in prisons across the country. Overcrowded prisons. It is not my word. The State Department's made it very clear. You guys go to Google right now and type up State Department report, human rights report. Just go to Google. State Department's human rights report for Sierra Leone. You'll see it. It comes up. The prison systems are overcrowded. And when you go and check, you will see it is mostly Northwesterners. People that are in the areas of the APC or the opposition, where the opposition has a lot of sympathy. These are the people that are being locked up in police stations and jails across the country. So guys, President Koroma is ready. The world is ready to protect the votes of Nigerians, Sierra Leoneans, Liberians next year, because these three countries are going to hold elections. But what are members of parliament going to do to ensure that the people are registered properly and the people verify the registration process properly, and so that the people can actually go and vote? The Sierra Leonean citizen can be able to vote so that President Koroma and others can protect their votes. That is your responsibility today. Go ask your members of parliament this question. We're not making up these things. If you don't want to be in parliament, get out. If you cannot do the job of the people, get out. If the fire is too hot in the kitchen, get out. If you cannot stand the heat, get out. But as long as you're a member of parliament, you are there to work for the people. We have a responsibility to call you out and tell you that you are there to represent us. So you are going to do what we want you to do. If you don't do it, we'll kick you out of there. But that is why these members of parliament want the proportional representation system as well. Don't forget that. This is why they want the PR system. So they can take the power away from the people. And then the political parties can be hijacked. And they are the ones that can actually pick out who they want to represent the political party in parliament and not the people. Take note of that. But go ahead, share the live. Everybody, I love you guys. Take care of yourselves. And I'll talk to you guys again. But for now, let's enjoy the song, and the live would end. And like I said again, my pens are coming shortly, okay? Every one of you guys, I want you to know that. My pens are coming shortly. These are the pens that I want to use. I know it's kind of blurry, guys. The information is not going to show, but I'm going to give you guys an opportunity. Every one of you guys, this pen is going to cost you $50. It's going to go towards my presidential campaign for 2028. 2028. These pens, each one, I'm going to find time to upload them, and I'll show you guys how to secure a copy of this pen. So when we meet someday, all you do is pull out a pen and show it to me. There's going to be other materials, other stuff that you can buy to support my presidential bid for 2028 so we can start raising funds, right? Prepare early. Guys, I'm not going to uptick the other no more. Also, everybody has said, Ibrahim, well, you're talking. Why don't you come on the ground and help us? Help us to fix this country. Well, the time is now. So those pens are going to be coming to you guys. It's going to cost you guys $50. Start to save that $50. Any side we did, you know, Europe, any side we did, all over. Start for save that money now. For buy this pen, a copy of this pen. I have a lot of them, and I'll be selling them to you guys. It is a way of raising funds for my 2028 presidential bid, okay? I love you guys. Take care of yourselves, everybody. Thank you for all your comments. I see them. I appreciate them. But of course, I don't have time to go through all of them right now, but I'll read them later on. But thank you, everybody. Let us continue to fight to save this democracy. Don't forget that President Koroma is going to save our democracy. He's ready to fight for us. And then we have a responsibility now to make sure that members of parliament protect the rights of the citizens to register so that they can vote, and so that we can protect their votes, right? That is what we have to ask for. And when I go ask JFK and others, why they challenge NEC commissioner? Why Akande Yumkela and Cherikoko not they challenge the NEC commissioner? Bring them kind of parliament, summon them. If you not come, then they subpoena them. The parliament is a court in itself. Cherikoko gets section 86(2) for use. For bring the leader, the NEC commissioner to parliament for can testify to Sierra Leoneans. Why the registration process was a mess. Why the verification process is a mess. They need for talk to with the people. They get a moral obligation to explain to us the people in a democracy where we want to thrive, where we want to move. That is what they should do. America, not overnight, or America become magic. But us, 60 years later, 30 days, will not begin itself for change with democracy. I'm going to leave it right here, guys. I love you guys. Take care of yourselves, everybody. All right? All right. I'll leave it right here. But again, don't forget, go follow former President Koroma. You guys see this, no so? Now go follow her.
Let no politics, no religion, no tribal conflict, opinion separate us. That hand in hand, we go into the groove. Democracy, the government of the people, by the people, for the people, alone, now we go. And before the next sunrise, our future is already set. Let no politics, no religion, no tribal conflict, opinions separate us. That hand in hand, we go into the groove. Democracy.
Miss watched. Well, today the team go work na Batos village. I'm not a size say be na this village also and send this for we.
This na Batos village. You go find this village inside the western area rural district. This na big village with plenty.
Guys, I might do a live about this tomorrow because I want you guys to see this. I might do a live about this tomorrow. All right. Because it is so sad for some of these things we're seeing, you know. So I might do a live on this tomorrow, guys. But just take a look at it for now. All right.
Center day, same way so. Then people here in secondary school and hospital. Tenesam. In a woman way tap day. Tell our life look for them the woman day.
It's not easy. That's not easy for we not the woman in this village. They strain and stone at the book. I don't they take care of me in the stress they feel. I don't they survive that. Well, if I'm going for help with like with the woman they've now like business money, so or more left this I don't care I go find. Three picking another they take care of me.
Fatu Kanu, we own 90 years. Tell me more about the village.
Over now, 90, double. Well,
you know, guys, I'm going to talk about this tomorrow, okay? Hopefully, by God's grace. I want to talk about this tomorrow. It's a shame. But bye-bye, everybody. I love you guys. Take care of yourselves, all right? Okay.